Okay, I'm going to talk about homelessness. I have PTSD really bad, and there for a couple of years, it was just completely out of control. Now, with therapy and a good wife, I'm managing it very well. And also training, martial arts, exercising, all that helps dealing with my PTSD. But that PTSD is what made me homeless because I had lost it for a while, and I learned a lot about how to live homeless. First thing, if you have a vehicle, you're off to a good start about being homeless because you can sleep in that vehicle, you can lock those doors, keeps you out of the rain. You can park it almost anywhere and not attract much attention. If you don't have the luxury of owning a vehicle, get you a tent. And I know you can get tents really cheap. And down here in Florida, you sleeping under a tarp, the mosquitoes, the bugs, it's rough. You need you a tent. And just find you some woods and set your tent up, and there's somewhere to sleep. And don't give up because I'm doing pretty good now. I got me a place, got me a car, got me a Harley Davidson motorcycle. So, got me a couple of companies going. You can get through PTSD. It never goes away, but you can learn how to manage it. And seeking help is the first step. And having a good support system. I got it under control completely now. And it helps me actually in life now. Where it was a disadvantage, the PTSD actually helps me. I work in the security business and it makes me more vigilant and more understanding and not so quick to be violent. When you make an enemy a friend, you've conquered an enemy. Anyway, back to the homelessness. Get you a tent, set it up. It does feel like you have a home. Now, when it comes to, because you got to stay clean. I mean, you will get sick if you don't stay clean. Now, a luxury is joining a gym, especially one of those 24-hour gyms. And it's not that much. If you can join a gym, that's a good place to get a hot shower, and there's just something about a hot shower that makes you feel human. And if you can't afford it, maybe you could go up to the gym and ask to talk to the manager and say, hey, can I take the trash out? Can I clean this place up? Is there something I can do to where I can come here and take showers? That's how mine started out. And next thing you know, I ended up teaching a class. And I do have a lot of experience in fighting, hence the lack of teeth. They've been all knocked out almost. I'm a pretty good fighter. I still make a little money at it. But I'm really good instructor. So, find you something to start making you some money. Even if it's just working at Burger King. Or picking up cans. Don't just surrender to the streets and say, well, I'm just going to live in this tent till I die. You know, you want to have a future to look towards. Set goals. That helps you get out of that system, is to set goals. So a good tent goes a long ways when your friends and family are not there for you. You know, if you got good friends and family, they'll take you in. You know, don't be a drug addict, thief, asshole. You know, be respectful. But if you don't have that, and shame on your family if you're a good person and they don't take you in when you have nowhere else to go. And there's some people I will never look at again the same way, that knew I had nowhere. And people that I treated real good and letted them stay at my house. So shame on you. I barely survived that. It can be rough out there on them streets. Yeah, but me, I prefer the woods. So I set my tent up in the wooded area. To go to the gym, get me a shower. Next thing you know, I'm teaching Muay Thai because I was in Thailand for 3 years. And I did a lot of fighting and training there. That's why I went there. Well, and those Thai women, it's a whole other story. Luckily I got out of there without a wife. But anyway, and children. But I learned a lot those 3 years in Thailand fighting, especially being white and young, because, you know, it was like a spectacle. You know, not a whole lot of white guys were down there fighting then. And people like to watch that. And I will tell you, those Thai fighters, they're tough. They made me tough. My nose got broke 11 times. Well, 10 times there, but I still like to fight one time in America. But anyway, get you a tent. That's your first step. Now, and then try to join you a gym. If you can't find a gym to join, and your family's just sorry as hell, and your friends are just sorry as hell, and won't let you take a shower or anything, well, you know, get you a pot, heat it up with some hot water and a rag. You wipe off real good. You keep that rag clean. You use clean water and wipe off real good. That helps. And staying clean will help you get back in society. You know, that way you don't smell and you're clean and you can find a job. Because really, you know, when you're homeless, you don't want to be just stuck there. You need to find a job or some source of income. And there's a million ways to make money on YouTube, you know, channels, you know, how to do it. You know, me, I just got blessed, and the gym owners said, man, you know, we heard about you, and we heard that you fight for money, and you're a really good fighter, and will you teach a class? And next thing you know, I got my own Muay Thai school. Doing good. And then, you know, I always worked as a bouncer. I've always worked in security work. Some I really can't talk about, but a lot of it I can. And I'm a really good bouncer. I'm not so young to where I just want to beat everybody up. I call it verbal judo, you know, where you talk people down and be nice. And sometimes you will have to fight as a bouncer because you cannot be rational. You'll never conquer an irrational person through rationality. It don't work. Then you will have to put your hands on them. But you want to try to avoid that as much as possible. And my fighting background and my Muay Thai school and training and all, that helps when I do have to engage. I did a little bit of MMA. I'm alright at it. But Like I said, first step, get you a tent. Find you a place to set it up. Try some way to get you some money coming in. Now, once you get you some money coming in, if you can find a family member or a good friend, you can go down and buy a little shed for $100 a month. No credit check or any of that. You see these sheds sitting on the side of the road. It's basically a tiny house. I live in one right now, and it saves me a lot of money. My house is paid for, and it only took me 2 years to pay it off at $100 a month. But you just learn. You learn. I had to learn. Nobody told me how to do anything when it come to being homeless. I had to learn, and I learned, man, get you a tent if you don't have no vehicle to sleep in. If you got a vehicle, man, that's nice. But get you a tent. It's a home. It's somewhere you can go and retreat and rest. Find a safe place. That's so important, to find a place where you're comfortable. I'm not one of these guys that's going to go set a tent up under a bridge where people can come and harass me. I'm going to put my tent, they call it stealth camping, where nobody's going to bother me, where I can get a decent night's sleep, get up, heat me a pot of water up, wash off real good, and go out there and make some money. And then, if you can't find someone that'll let you put one of those $100 a month sheds on their property, and if you can't, you need to reevaluate your friends and your family. I got a beef with a lot of them now, because I'm back on my feet. Like I said, I got a brand new Harley Davidson and a brand new car. I still, though, choose to live in a shed, because I got wall-to-wall carpeting, queen-size bed, a little heart, it's just like a house. Besides, like I said, and when I don't feel like going to the gym to take a shower, I just wash off, or get you a little small pool, take you a bath in your swimming pool. You can make it. You just got to be determined to make it. And one of the things you need to be careful with, because I learned this the hard way in the beginning, be careful with that alcohol and all. That alcohol will numb your senses and make it seem like it's easier to live homeless. But that'll turn into a bigger problem, and next thing you know, you'll be homeless till you die. And I could rent an apartment, but I choose to live in this shed because it's paid for. That's how I'm able to go out and buy me a brand new Harley Davidson motorcycle. That's how I'm able to go out and buy me a brand new car. That's, Dave Ramsey is right about a lot of things. Live like nobody else so you can live like nobody else. But do everything you can to get back on your feet. If you're having mental issues, go down and get help. There's a lot of churches that'll help you. There's places you can get help. Me, I had help, but I also worked it out on my own. And I met a good woman. And like I said, now my PTSD works to my advantage. Use the things that are out to hurt you to your advantage. Kind of like, dogs. Used to, they were just wolves. And they would eat the primitive man. So primitive man would throw his scraps out, and the wolves would come eat the scraps. Next thing you know, the wolves are domesticated, and when foreign invaders come up to the caveman, the wolves will protect them and let them know somebody's coming. So, you know, you can make it. Just don't give up. And you will fail a few times. Just get back up, brush yourself off, you know, find a job that suits you. And if you don't have the luxury of being able to find somewhere, because this is the way to do it. I'm too old. Well, I'm not old, but I'm too old, though, to go and buy a house and pay a 30-year mortgage. I'll be dead before that's paid off. So, and that's a trap. The best thing to do is go out and find someone that will owner finance you some property. Buy that property under owner financing. Get you a lawyer. Do it legally. Do it right. Put your shed out there and then start building. Use the tools you have. Start your garden. You know, get out of the rat race. You know, I get to live well because my overhead expenses literally is not that much. And try to pay cash for everything. You know, I got a brand new Harley Davidson. I pay cash for it. How did I do that? Because I live in a shed. I ain't stuck with all them bills. I run off solar. You can do it. And, you know, I have many tricks. You know, like I do have friends. You know, I hunt and fish and grow food. But I also have friends, you know, I personally am not going out and buying no bacon. That's expensive. But just little tricks. Like I'll tell my friends, hey, you eat a lot of bacon. Will you save me that bacon grease? And this bacon grease right here, it may not be the healthiest thing in the world. I really don't know. I'm not a health nut. We all gonna die. I'd hate to die being the healthiest person laying in the hospital bed dying. So, I mean, it is what it is. But some bacon grease. And sorry about that, guys and gals. My wife moves everything everywhere. You get some bacon grease and a bag of rice. That'll feed me for a month, almost. You know, with throwing in some greens that I grow, and a rabbit or a squirrel or a dove, you know, whatever I can harvest, because I'm not a vegetarian. But this will go a long ways. Now in Florida we got bugs, so you got a lot of people that are preppers that are in the food storage, and in Florida you need to be careful storing this rice because it will get bugs in there and ruin it. Buy you a big old bag of pinto beans. I buy these huge bags of pinto beans at Walmart for 15 bucks. And with this bag of rice and them pinto beans and whatever I can scavenge up, but with some bacon grease, because bacon grease makes everything taste better, you can make it. I'm telling you, there's ways to make it. Now I know I'm rambling, because this is one of my first videos of how to survive during homelessness. And I'm going to end this video here very shortly because people's attention spans are very short nowadays. But just remember, if you don't have a car, get you a tent. Then find you some source of income. And I will tell you another thing. You know, hanging out with other homeless people, you'll learn tricks. but you'll also learn a lot of bad routines that is why they're homeless. So you need to be careful with that. You know, a lot of homeless people drink and they will forever be homeless, and they'll be found dead somewhere from cirrhosis of the liver or whatever, or getting drunk and walking out in front of traffic. So you need to be careful with that alcohol when you're homeless, because that's a trap. And just don't give up. That's the main thing. Just do not give up. There was times I wanted to give up, you know, but I learned. I bought me a tent. After a while, I got me a car. After a while, got some property to put the shed up on. After a while, saved my money, got me a brand new Harley Davidson. After a while, saved some money, got me a new car. Don't get any of that stuff financed, though, or you can end up homeless again. All it takes is a broken ankle or a wrist and you're out of a job, especially in security work. So, you know, I make sure I pay cash for everything. And with that, my next videos I'll show, but that's also how to eat cheap, you know. Learn how to eat cheap. And have a blessed day, and just do not give up, and you'll make it. Just stay away from the alcohol and find you a purpose. Find you a job, even if it's just picking up aluminum cans all day. Do something, and you will eventually get up out of your situation. There's a whole lot of homeless people, and there's fixing to be a whole lot more. This economy's going down. That's another reason why I'm doing these videos, to show you how to make it in an economy that's crashing. Because this paper money, it's not going to last. You'll see. With that, I'm out. Please like and subscribe to my videos so I can help. Hopefully this will help someone just persevere and endure. With that, I love you guys. Have love in your heart for your fellow man. Keep your guard up. Educate yourself. Just always be a student. Always be a student. And you'll make it. Have a good day.